Live.
Yes.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Millennials Debunked.
And hello, everyone. My name is Grace, and I am your co-host to CK here, who is your main host. All right. So we are from Sweat Group, and Sweat Group is a training and development company focusing on image. Being in a training line, we have noticed that a lot of corporations in Malaysia experience the generation gap between the new wave, the new line of workforce, which are also known as the millennials. That's why we are here in this platform of Millennials Debunked. Is actually a platform for the millennials, the new generation, to voice out their opinions and what are their views in this new working culture? What are the views of the current working cultures right now? So this is a neutral platform for whether you are an employer or employee, just to hear the thoughts of what are all these new generation really thinking about when they come out into the workforce.
So, ladies and gentlemen, today we have two wonderful guests with us, and I will be pleased to have them introduce themselves.
Alright, hi everyone. My name is Arshad. I am 24. I've been working for about 9 months. I work as a business analyst in this IT company that serves banks.
Hi everyone, my name is Sweetling and I am 22 this year. I've been working as an auditor for around 9 to 10 months.
Before we actually step into it, I want to say that actually 22 and 24 is very early age of you guys to step out into the working world. What's the one thing, that immediate culture shock that you have?
I think my immediate thought was I don't want to graduate. I don't want to pay for my own bills. But the culture shock was I felt like I am not ready, like in terms of soft skills like Excel, like computer wise, because since I took ACCA, so it's 100% exam based. So when I was first entering the workforce, my Excel skills was like literally zero. So it took me some time to practice.
For me, okay, to be honest, I feel like graduating at 23 is the average age. You know, people get into the workforce at 23.
Average?
Or rather, I realized that since the age of about 5 or 6, you've been in school. You've been in school, you've just been taking money, you have been producing nothing to the economy. So yeah, at the age of 23, I'm just like, yo, I'm sick of this. I don't want to study no more. I don't want to handle no exams. I just want to work and get the money, you know? So the expectations I set for myself is to work like a dog and you know, one of those people like 10 o'clock, you're still in the office, like,
Oh, wow.
I wanted to be that person when I graduated. Now I hate to be that person.
I think that's a very different perspective. I think, work-life balance. 9 to 10 is no work-life balance, Asha.
You know, surprisingly, right, because I not having that thought until I was in secondary school. I was like, no man, I had enough. I want to come out and work already. I don't want to study. I don't want to do exam. I don't want to do anything academic already. But once I stepped out and started working, a lot of my same age friends are still studying. And eventually, when I go back to study, all my friends started working. So it's pretty weird, I would say. It's pretty interesting experience.
I did have somewhat of the same experience. Like, you know, you finish SPM, your uncle says, you know what, while you're waiting for your results, come and work for me lah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and then...
And let me tell you what, that was by far one of the worst experiences ever. Yeah.
Why?
It was just 2 months of work, and it was a 10 to 6 kind of job. I took the LRT for about 40 minutes, and I was pretty diligent at my work. You know, it was first job with your uncle. You don't want to embarrass your uncle. Data entry job. The first month, the pay was 600 ringgit.
Oh.
Right? right? You hear that, you're just like,
but no way, cause like, I mean, it's like an intern's pay lah, and to me, 600 is not bad for an intern, honestly. Because my first internship, it was because there was F&B industry. So F&B industry is like really, really low. They only pay you $10 a day. Some hotels, they only pay you $10 a day.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you work
So
in
when I hear anything more than 500 or more than 300, we're counted good. Okay, but do continue.
Yeah, but basically it was that kind of experience. Like, you know, you work like a dog, 10 to 6, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna spend my 600 ringgit.
Do you consider 600 ringgit a lot at the time, at the moment?
I consider it to be very little. It's so little that it's like, yo. Yeah.
Okay.
It's because at the same moment of me earning 600 ringgit a month, I had this best friend of mine who was working at Book Access, and he gets paid, you know, an actual wage amount.
Okay.
Yeah. So 1,005 versus 600.
Yeah.
Oh my god, 1,005! That's a lot!
Right?
What do you work as?
Data entry, you know, a person who sits in front of the laptop.
Yeah. Oh wait, but hey, you get to work on your Excel skills.
Yeah,
100%.
important. Actually, I've been working like in a pharmacy as a sales assistant for quite long, since I was 16-ish to 21, like during holidays. So yeah, the wages are the normal.
Is it because
rate,
it's your family's pharmacy or something like that?
No, just a random pharmacy that I went in for a walk-in interview.
Oh wow, okay.
So the normal salary plus their commission is quite good lah.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess the pharmacy is more towards like the medical and the medicinal industries, whereas like I guess data entry, yeah, it's kind of an office admin job. So I know a lot of places like they do need data entry people, but they will get all the young ones and pay them intern prices.
So next on, I just want to ask this main question that we have. If you are given a choice, right, would you like to be an employer or a business owner? If you are given a choice,
and
would
why?
you like to be an employer or a business owner?
I think for most people, their end game is to become a business owner, right? You know, you either open a wine shop or a restaurant, and you just chill there. For me, it's the same, except now is the time of you know, COVID and MCO. So, not at the moment, no.
Okay.
So, what difference did the COVID give you a different view though about being a business owner?
Tell me, I want to know.
How?
Yeah, it hurts because you see shops that you used to love, and then one day you're there, and another day you're just, oh my god, it's gone. It is gone. Yeah, the Kung Fu Ramen place that I used to go. Yeah, I went there and it was just closed. I was like, yo, where am I gonna get my comfort food? My local comfort food. Yeah. So in the same manner, I guess being an employer is really tough. You know, you got to take care of the business, and if the business fails, it's on you. Yeah.
The responsibilities that you're carrying is actually a ton. Not just the business, employer as well, the risk that you are facing. Of things
and the
actually.
customers. And the customers.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think like I hear some employers also say that being an employer, you're also taking care of the welfare of your staff.
Yeah.
So it's like a big responsibility to shoulder on.
It is.
I think I have same thought as Asha as well. Like for now,
Mm.
in this COVID-19 period of time, I think for me, we are lucky enough to graduate earlier before COVID-19, to start earning some like income rather than like, we graduate around April or March. So I'm just really grateful that I have a job now. And long-term wise, I guess if I find something that I like, maybe fashion or like some accessories that I am interested in, then I might consider something like online shop, setting up something like an online shop, I guess. But now, for now, I don't have that idea yet.
For me, right, I never consider like being a boss or business owner, right? You have to shoulder so much responsibilities, and like you need to take care of the custom, like there's an Asha said, customers, your employees, your colleagues, and stuff like that. Now that I work for multiple people, a lot of companies, like multiple people, multiple industries, right? I started to notice that being a business owner is not fun. It's not easy. It's not like it's not just the end goal, Because you want to share yours instead if you are given a choice. Would you like to be an employee
If I
or a
was
business
given a choice,
Mm-hmm.
I would still want to be a business owner. Yes, I find that the whole COVID thing has really challenged that question. Do you really want to be a business owner? But I think that I still do. I still do want to eventually come out on my own. On what specifically, I am not too sure yet. That's what I've been searching all my life. Still like what to do, what do I focus on? But I know that I eventually want to jump out of the wage earner cycle, because I also know that I guess being a wage earner, sometimes there's a limit to what you can earn. So so I still do want to come out of being an employee to become an employer someday.
So just to let Asha and Swilling know, this talk show has been viewed by a number of people and have like viewers from a few different industries. So we actually have collected a few numbers of questions from them. So, but they don't know who is going to answer the question. They just throw the question to us because the question is more towards like, if you want to know something about a millennial, what is it going to be? So we collect like few lists of questions, and then we're going to randomize it. And then I'm going to throw the question to you guys and see how you guys interpret it. So let's go with number 4 first, I guess.
Number 4. Okay, I'll read that question. Okay, so number 4 is, what are the sacrifices in the workplace that you really do not like? Again, what are the sacrifices in the workplace that you really do not like?
The first thought that came into my mind was like the time. I understand that sometimes you do need to work overtime, and it's quite normal, but not up to the extent until like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. for weeks, and then sometimes you need to come back to work on weekends. And work itself, it's like okay, but the other subsequent consequences that comes together is like your health. For me, during my peak period, I've actually like gained quite some weight because I don't really have the time to exercise.
Yeah.
The only day you have, like maybe out of Saturday and Sunday, you still need to work on Sunday. And Saturday, you wouldn't feel like doing anything other than sleeping already.
Yeah, I totally get you.
So I would say I don't mind working overtime, but there should be a cap, I would say.
Do people in your office or your industry stay until 2-3 a.m.?
For my industry, yes. During our peak period is quite normal, to be frank.
You are in accounting, is it?
Audit.
Audit. Oh yeah. Oh, the audit. No wonder. No, I remember that auditing industry to me is that it's famed for working overtime.
Yeah, it's normal. Like I accept the fact that it's normal. Just that maybe they need to have a like cap.
Is it like a certain regulation, like a limit to maybe until 12 p.m., 11 p.m. then cut off?
If there is, it would be great, but I don't think there will be lah.
Hey, okay, that's out of curiosity. I want to ask, what's the thing that you guys do to like you need to work until 2 a.m.?
It's more on like the tight deadline lah. Yeah.
Okay. Is it because the customer did not provide enough information to you guys, or it's just the workload is just too much?
The workload is a lot, and also sometimes it's like compliance basis, like from the government deadline that cannot be changed lah. So it's not flexible.
I see.
Before I continue to my part, right? So Sweetling, you're an auditor, and my clients have to deal with auditors.
Yeah.
So my company sells is anti-money laundering systems to banks, and that is a big portion of compliance in itself.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
so and usually they have to answer to the audits like, hey, why isn't this here? Why is the risk rating and so forth, right? And I think I can safely assume that they hate auditors. So
yeah, exactly. No, I don't think anyone likes us. But they are like trying to stay calm while dealing with auditors, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Sweetling, actually my question is, how do you deal with people who are by work nature, they hate you?
They hate us. You
Just
have
by
to,
the work nature.
You just have to have thick face because you still need to get your work done.
Okay.
I've encountered some like more like, slightly hot-tempered client. Sometimes it's just like you are like asking them question, or you wanted to ask for some supporting documents.
Yeah.
Me and my teammates were just standing there, and she just ignore us like we are like she didn't see us, she didn't hear us. We just stood there like nothing. So, but the end of the story is you still need to get your work done. So anyhow, you still need to control your temper. You still need to ask them nicely whether you can receive those documents again. Yeah. So I guess it's like temper control. Need to have patience. Need to be more optimistic, I guess.
That's nice. I would
Nice.
say you need to have like, in a sense, you would say you need to have like people skills, like very
people skills,
excellent, very strong people skills if you want to deal with a lot of different people, especially in your line audit.
Like this. No benefit if you explode lah. Anyhow, he's your client, and you still need to get your work done. If not, you'll kena from your superior as well. So yeah, you just need to control.
True.
But then the first thing that comes to your mind about the sacrifices you don't like is actually more of the time, the overtime, more than the hot-headed clients or anything like that.
Because I don't know, I felt like as time goes by, you wouldn't like take their emotions so much. Like you know how to separate it out lah, and don't let it affect your emotions. At the end of the day, if they are angry or they just exploded onto you, and if you can't like adjust it, it would affect your entire day and your own mood lah. So better not let it affect you so much.
True.
All right. For me, the sacrifice. I wouldn't say it's the time, because I'm fine with having my time sacrificed.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you come out to the workplace with an expectation that you're gonna work until 10 p.m. and turns out you have to work even later than that. You're just like, you know what? What's a little bit more of my life, right?
Wow. I'm sure
I
all
need
the
to
employees will love you.
But one thing that really got to me is I would say mental strength after the working hours.
Mm.
I do work late, whatnot, but what I enjoy and what I work for is just to have a nice dinner with the people I love, right?
Mm. Mm.
So that is the goal. And I remember it was about 5 to 6 months during my employment that I was eating sushi with my partner, my girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just there eating. I didn't enjoy it. The only thing in my head was, oh my god, I haven't finished my work. I need to continue.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone's been at that point where you're trying to enjoy something. Maybe it's playing a video game, maybe it's playing the ukulele, but you cannot enjoy it because
Yeah.
your mind is fixated on work.
Yeah.
Totally understand.
Right? So that is to sacrifice that mental strength after the working hours. Yeah.
How should I have a solution to this challenge?
Yeah.
Thank you for asking, because I also want to ask.
Luckily, after about 7 months, I decided, you know what? Just breathe. Yeah, just breathe. No. It's. I wouldn't say it's to not care.
Mm-hmm.
It's to say that, okay, if I screw up, that is a normal part of learning.
Yeah.
Of course, you'll dedicate more hours to it. Sure, that inability to deliver 100% should not be fully on you. Of course, as an employee, you're like, yes, this is my job. But imagine someone asks you to build a house, and you're just like, how do I even build a house in 5 minutes?
Exactly.
That's impossible. You're asking me to do the impossible. I can't deliver this to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sometimes it just can't be done, and you can't try and break your head over it. Might as well just enjoy sushi while you're while you're incapable of thinking about it.
Actually, that's really, really important. Like for the long run. Sometimes you just need to learn how to give yourself some time to zone out and not think about work. Yeah. To be more sustainable in the long run. Yeah.
Are there any tips for the employers if they are listening to this? Are there any tips on how would you want them to treat you when you come to them with your problems, with this kind of sacrifices? You say, hey boss, I don't like this. What do you wish they would do or say for you?
The wishing would actually be more of, get the message. You probably need more people here, right, Sweetling?
Yep. I think that's the only possible solution.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. To hire more people, is it?
It's to hire more people, but from the point of view of the management, they'll probably be like, damn, if I hire one more person, there's 3 buggers who are actually working on the ground. They'll actually have to train this person, then they'll go and complain some more. Might as well let's just have them go through this crunch period.
I guess it would be the struggle of we should hire more people, but at the same time, resources and time spent, it may not seem worth it, is it?
Yeah.
I guess it's both sides also need to, the employee and the employer both needs to adjust and adapt.
So if let's say your main sacrifice that you don't like about the overtime thing, so if you start up a firm on your own, is there anything that you would do to perhaps motivate your employees a little bit more? if you know that overtime is going to be a must,
We know that we need to OT. Maybe we can OT from home, so my employees would be safer as well. Yep, and more comfortable. Yep.
One of my my vice president, he did something that is betul-betul like God level amount of wow. I highly appreciate you. I do
Wow.
not think any other employer would do this,
okay.
or you know,
How-
or
what
high
did he do?
position being. So it was I was suffering from a burnout session.
Hmm.
All right, you know, you're going through the crunch, and then you go
Yeah.
into a meeting where you know you're gonna get screwed, and lo and behold, you do get screwed. The meeting ends. You put your head down to the laptop because you know you just screwed. It's a Friday, of course, and your boss notices you just going through all of that. He says, "You know what, Arshad? Just go home tonight and go and rest." It's just that. Just right. So nice. It was betul-betul like nak nangis punya. So I'd say it's the action of, you know, just understanding, letting you just rest.
From what I'm hearing, is more towards like empathy, understanding.
Yeah.
I understand. I empathize with your situation. I know what you're facing right now. So I'm giving you time to be with yourself so that you can sort out your emotions. Is that what you're meaning?
Yes.
Yeah, I think like, I guess bosses also, they cannot deny that work has to be done. There's work, the amount of work is still going to be there, you know. But I think just showing that you understand and you care for your staff, it makes a lot of difference for the staff, lah, right?
I guess there is like extra motivation.
Okay.
Because feeling is working until 2 a.m. in the morning, right? So try to imagine like in your office there's like this snack bar or just like entertainment lounge, or so that you guys can just drop by to rest for 15 minutes, something enough. How would you think that, Suling?
For like pantry, we do have like normal biscuits, we have coffee and stuff. So let's say suddenly your manager bought MACD in, then there will be extra something like extra motivation, I guess. There's a resting place, it would be awesome as well for 15 minutes.
Did you notice any interesting cultures at your workplace? I shall repeat. Did you notice any interesting cultures at your workplace? Like, yeah, what are the things that you find is interesting and maybe perhaps you like?
Because from my perspective, right, when I first came to Sweat, I didn't know there's this tea time.
Oh.
Yeah, we have tea time. We have like 4. I think sometimes 3, sometimes 4 p.m. Like when they actually encourage us to come out from our workspace just to have like a short tea break and then talk about anything. Like what the customers, talk about the work that you're facing at, or some funny jokes that you want to share to us. That's something that is very new to me, and I was like, wow. I feel like I'm able to connect with my colleagues more easily with this way.
It's quite a lot of culture. Yeah, you know, some are good, some are questionable, but still relevant. Yeah.
Okay, which are questionable?
So
I want to hear the questionable.
Okay, the questionable one. So for me, it would be, you know, new employee comes in and you give very basic training on what the company is, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. So of course, yeah, definitely not enough. So this is of course from the viewpoint of a small company. And with that in mind, small companies they can't spend too much on having one dedicated person doing the training and everything. Fair.
Yeah.
Controversial part comes in, the person doesn't know truly how to do the job, but is still expected to deliver nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the person just has to hit the wall multiple times until he figures out, yes, I think this is, I'm sorry about that. This is, the best way to do it. This is the proper way to do it. And soon enough, you will achieve a higher form of understanding, a higher form of learning as compared to if your supervisor just told you everything from A to Z. Would you rather train someone right till the end, or would you rather train someone the basic and then just go, all right, the world is your playing field. Sorry, the world is your playground. Mess up and make it work. Yeah.
So, question: when you mention about like basic, quote unquote, training, right? What kind of basic training are you talking about? So, introduction to the company. Company has been established this year, and then you are supposed to task with admin. Let's say admin job, and then you're supposed to do this, and then off you go.
Not even.
What? I'm expecting that's a basic already. Okay, yeah, share. Let me know.
So because my company is a company that sells software, right? So we sell the system to people. So it was basically just a rundown of what our system is, what it can do, how do you use the system, and how do you like configure it from back end or front end, that kind of thing. That was pretty much it. It was a 3-day training, which was not bad. I've had friends who had training for about 6 months. So I guess that is the culture shock of, just this is roughly what you're supposed to do. Make your, try your best.
Do it.
Find a way to do it.
Exactly.
Suling, is it the same for you? Something similar?
Yeah, actually for mine, when I entered, it was like peak, so they have not enough staff lah. So technically, they postponed our training 1 month later.
Oh wow.
And I started working like on the second day itself after they distribute all the laptops and review on the IT system and all. So I started working on the second day itself without training. And to be frank, my first audit working paper was awful. And the review was like, harsh comments. But I learned the hard way.
Okay, I got an extra question. Okay, maybe to Arshad first. For a small company, because the dilemma of being a small company is you just don't have enough staff to spend that much time with you to train someone new, right? So what would you suggest if someone comes in? Like, how should the training be like? What do you think would be the ideal?
9 months into the job and I'm still not sure how to train. Because I believe in Sweetling's words. You just have to do a shitty job and you have to learn the hard way.
I think like for Asha one is considered quite like hands-on also, right? There's no like SOP that you can really follow unless you experience them yourself. I would say our training and our resources are really good. Like they constantly have trainings for associates all the way up to senior level. So like I think there is 2 trainings in a year, and one training would be around once a week lah. And you have online learning platform that you can access. You can do some self-learning as well. So I would say it's good lah.
And what my boss told me, how to find the system and how to create a system for others so that others can replicate what you're doing. If your job is replicable, you are not able to move away from your job. Basically, you are always handling your job. So that's why he keep on encourage people like us, people to keep on find ways to shorten your workload and if possible, create an SOP so that others can follow. Like new people come up to your position, just read your SOP, and then you can just you're free to do. If you have something, just come and ask me. I won't sit there one-on-one teach you. That's a huge waste of time for both of us.
I talk about two core things that I do on a daily basis, and one of it is communicating with customers and to prepare things called scope of work. It's basically for you and the client to decide on something and to agree on it. And of course, if you give some new person a scope of work and you say, prepare this, person will be like, I don't even know what the scope of work is. Right? Yes, exactly. But I realized that for jobs like that, or rather for tasks like that, where once you tell them the framework, the guidelines, or basically the concept of a scope of work, which is just for you and the client to agree on something, and betul-betul fully like, I agree on this, there is no doubts, there's no vagueness on it. Yeah, that if they manage to get that concept and they manage to put that concept inside that scope of work or that task, then it's a success. I guess that would be considered like SOP lah. It's just a guideline, and it's a frame of thought when you're doing the task. Yeah, so that's one part. A second part is something that betul-betul it's hands-on training. It is me just solving issues of the client using scripting language. It's how do you teach that? Where do you start? Where do you end? I don't know. Just start somewhere. There's not much of an SOP that you can get out of that.
So in other words, sometimes you cannot deny that you still need a mentor, like a human interaction guidance in your work. Is that?
I guess so, yeah. But yeah. So if you were to give advice to the companies, to the employers, what would you give to them?
Say like, if you can say anything to them, if you just want to be heard, what is the one thing that you want your employers to know?
I guess give us more recognition for the work. Yeah.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
Yeah. What do you mean by recognition? Because everyone's recognition is different. I want to know yours.
Yeah.
It might be from your senior, your manager, but it could be a simple word of encouragement or compliments that would boost up my motivation, I guess.
I would say if you're right at the top, then try. I mean, of course, you don't need to betul-betul listen to the bottom person, because chances are the bottom person might not know what they're talking about, like me. Might not. But yeah. So of course, if you're at the bottom, you would then talk to your manager, and then your manager would know best for your team. And in the same sense, as the top person, you should just talk to what's below you to see what can be helped, or 2 levels below you to see what can be improved. Yeah, I think that would be best.
Like usually only we get our feedback, right? Like from us now, it's always like, your senior or supervisor would evaluate you.
Yeah.
But it's like if we want to be heard, maybe we can give a like bottom up evaluation as well. I mean, like I don't know, from what I understand from Ashad, maybe I'm not sure whether I'm understanding it correctly.
It's a yes and a no, for the reason being, I'm sure you have a hierarchy, right?
Yep.
So I'd say, for us fresh graduates, we are at the bottom of the hierarchy. And chances are what we'll be telling you is probably, hey, I'm sorry, can you just add more people in? And that's not what the top person wants to hear, because the top person probably thinks, you know what, these people, they just want to get home at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
But of course, if you go a step higher and you go into the manager position, then you would properly know what to tell to your boss. Perhaps you can say something like, oh, it's either we need to re-strategize the team, or we need to allocate more people, or allocate people from other resources to this resource.
Yeah, because you see more things already, right?
Yeah.
I really like all your points, and I also like that how Sweet Ling mentioned that the I find that it's a two-way evaluation. I like that she brought that up. It's not just the top down giving us the evaluation, but we have the rights also to evaluate. A lot of companies, to me, I think they should start to put this in because I think now the young people actually have a lot to say. I really have a lot to say, and and I think like definitely moving forward, the younger generation are going to be in management levels and all that, and I think when companies take on this kind of culture of having the two-way evaluation, I think that would really progress. That would bring the company to progress further, faster, even. Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just want to say thank you so much, Asha and Sweet Grace, for joining us today. So because of your courage to be here and to speak up, to share your thoughts, we believe that we are actually one step closer for bridging the gap between generations. And also I want to thank you for those who tune in to watch this. I'm sure today's tips, or rather the sharing session today, help you shed some light on the millennials. So ladies and gentlemen who are watching this right now, if you have questions about millennials, do drop your question down on the comment section below, or just message us, DM us. And don't forget to like this video, follow us on Facebook, Sweat Group, and you can search Sweat Group on the search bar on Facebook. But with that said, that's all for the day. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Yes. So let's get on with it. Wow, I see a cat.
This is my cat.
We can put it in the bloopers.
So Asha, can I help you? Can I have you introduce yourself for this session and for sharing all your thoughts? Asha, can you put the McDonald's aside first?
Ayo, you know about it.
I'm hungry. Asha.
I'm so sorry. It's